guys. I'm waiting for them to call me back, and then I'll let you guys know later how everything went. So talk to you guys soon. Got my fingers crossed. All good news. Toodles. Hello guys. Okay, so I'm back home and I'm ready to give you guys like all of the details and information and everything of what happened. So when I went to the hospital, they did another form of mammogram, but their machines are deep penetration, and they did an ultrasound. But the great thing about when you go to these hospital visits and you deal with these technicians, you know that when we deal with the people at the mammogram place, you know that you ask them ladies a question, sorry, I can't answer, you got to talk to the doctor, sorry, I can't help you, sorry. So anything you ask is sorry, I can't help you. So that puts you in more suspense. But what the great thing about it, when you go to these hospitals and you get these mammograms, these technicians are allowed to engage with you, with your concerns, and even turn around and show you the findings. So she was like, come here, come in. And she was like, you know, first I have to verify my name, date of birth, make sure I'm the right person. So she said, come here. And she said, you see this? This is your mammogram where it caused concern. And she explained that it wasn't my breast facing forward. It's my breast facing, like I was turned this way, facing in a mammogram system. And then they saw something up in there. Okay. And she was like, see this area? And they circle it. And she said, these are the concerning errors. She said, so today we're going to look deeper at those. And before you leave, you're going to get the next step. And the doctor is going to tell you if they feel that what they found, in fact, is cancer. And I said, that's what I wanted to know, because the suspense of this is so scary. She said, you will leave today knowing. And I'm like, okay, perfect. So she took all those pictures, and then I went from there, and she sent me in this room, and they had you lock yourself stuff up. But this one lady, she must have been there a whole bunch of times, because she had her little Louis Vuitton bag, and she went in there to do whatever, but she was taking her purse with her. So I guess with these rooms and the gaps that they're going to have you sit in there, your mind get to wondering. So I see why that lady probably took her phone with her. So if you have to go, unless they tell you can't, you know. But so after they did the first imagings, they took me from that room and put me in and I'm kind of claustrophobic. They put me in a room, probably a little couch here, 3 chairs, 2 chairs over here. And then they had you're not alone. You're never alone on this journey. But your body is tougher than you know. You're tougher than what you know. And it kind of had like some angel pictures and stuff like that. And they put you in this room, and they had a mirror in there. I was kind of like the mirror. They had a mirror in there. And I was a full body mirror. And it's like the room itself was like kind of scary, because it's your mental is playing with you. And you're like, oh God. You know, there's cancer, and they got all these cancer pamphlets in there. So I got in this room, and I got that's when I got freaking scared. Like, I felt alone. You know, my mama used to always say, unless you got a twin, you came in this world, you're going to die by yourself. So you're in this room and you alone. You know, it's like, I just felt like, oh, wow. You know, I don't know if they let your family members follow you through. I'm not for sure, because they deal with a lot of radiation and, you know, I don't know. But I put it back on. So I was in there like terrified. And I wish I'd had my phone and like look at Pinterest or recipes to kind of get my mind. So the lady comes, she said, oh, hi, come on, go with me. We're going to go do the ultrasound now. So I went to go do the ultrasound, and she's doing the ultrasound, and she's got it on my breast. And she said, what I'm seeing is a cyst. And I'm like, a cyst? And she's like, yeah, this look like a cyst. I've done this a lot, and it's refreshing, because these texts talks to you versus, you know, when you deal with the other people, they ain't allowed to say nothing. You know, ask somebody an x-ray. I knew my fucking arm was broke when it was like this, when I was on them skates. I was like, is my arm broke? We can't answer no question. They have to wait for the doctor to come. So they don't allow even them people knowing. They read that stuff all the time. Well, you know, people to take the pictures, they know what it is, but they get in trouble for speaking. But in a hospital, the rules is different. they can answer your question. So she said, yeah, this definitely looks like a cyst. And she was like, we're going to have the doctor to come in, and she's going to look at the images, and she's going to explain the next step. So the doctor came in, and she was asking her, she'd take all the pictures and everything. And then she got on the mammogram, not mammogram, the ultrasound, and she started looking. And she said, hey, Marie, she said, have you ever been through any trauma in your breast? Have you recently been in a car accident? Have you got somewhere where you was hurt? You like there was a bad impact where you was seriously hurt and your body's trying to heal. She said, because what I'm seeing is definitely a cyst, but it's based off of trauma. And I'm like, bingo. I said, oh, for the people that know me from TikTok, y'all remember I was outside 2 years ago, not the past June, but the June before last, and I was skating and I wound up breaking my arm, and I literally still got, I had surgery, if you can see, I literally still got a rod in my hand. So when I fell, I went and I put this arm out, and this whole right side, boom, like bad. But you know, when you go to the hospital, and I had to get a temporarily cast, and I had to have surgery 3 days later, and they give me a new bone, and I got this thing in there to protect it or whatever, kept my arm here. But anyway, David's more or less worried about, did you hit your head? Did you hit your head? I knew I hurt my breast, but it was just, they was battered and bruised, but I didn't ever think to do no to do a x-ray, because like it's just boobs, like they black and blue. I knew I fell, so I knew the trauma, but we definitely knew my arm was broke. So they went back and they looked. 2 years before I had the skating injury, where I had the major surgery, the bad serious trauma on his wrist, did I have a cyst in my breast then? Before. They looked, no cyst. Then they looked after I had the major surgery on this hand, did I had a cyst? Clearly, it was after. She said, this is what I'm thinking it is. She said, this is what I'm thinking it is. She said, another thing. She said, your breasts have serious fatty tissue. She said, and I'm concerned a little bit. She said, because what's shocking, she said, most people, you see this in obesity, like women that's really big. You see a whole bunch of fat tissue and stuff. And she said, shockingly, I'm looking at you and you're not a big person, but your breast is full of fatty tissue. It's huge with fatty tissue. And I said, okay, I had Sonobella laser surgery a bunch of years ago, but with Sonobella laser surgery, even with lipo ladies, y'all know when they do that surgery on us, my waist, if y'all go way back, my original video, you can see I was a little chunky and had that donut around the stomach. But since having the surgery, my waist maintained 30 inches. I'm still 30 inches, and it's been how many years later from that? You know what I mean? Whoa, God, it's been a lot of years later, but I'm still at 30 inches. So they told me when I had that Sonobella laser surgery, it's going to kill the fat's upper lower sides. And later, you know, I had it on here, the glands. So what they said is that when you have these liposuction, it kills the fat. So it pushes fat elsewhere. It pushes fats in all these other places. So she was like, I never knew that. She said, wow. She said, but I was just seriously like, how is it that this woman is as small as she is, but her breasts have whatever it's a name for overgrowth and fatty tissue. And I said, and she said, that probably explains it. She said, because I normally see this in obesity women, and I'm looking at you and I'm like, her body not matching, you know, what I'm seeing. And I was like, yeah. I said, actually, my doctor was asking me at one point if I wanted to get a reduction because of all of the fat is literally going, you know, when I'm gaining weight, is going in my boobs. And she was like, I never knew that. So yes, ladies, so if y'all going and getting these mammograms and they looking at you and they seeing all this fatty tissue is from the lipo and the Sonobel laser surgery disperses fat everywhere else. It kills it in them cells, in the places where you lipo, but it goes in everywhere else. So she said a 0 and 2% chance of the cyst being cancerous. And also when she's looking at the cyst, she see no blood vessels supplying to the cyst. Because normally, I guess when they look at cancer, that's why they got to get rid of it, because it be a supply of blood and it grows. It only, something feeding it. She says she don't see a supply that, it's nothing feeding, whatever. But she's using all these terms. And guys, forgive me if I'm not getting everything right of what I'm saying. I'm trying to explain it the best way I know how in my little country voice, and y'all understanding me. But, probably the way I'm saying it is not. I'm trying to, the best of my ability, tell y'all what she said to me. So basically, she said a 0 and 2% chance of this cyst being cancerous. Now it's up to me. I can get a biopsy and they can test it further, or I can opt to have it took out, or I can wait 6 months and come back to see if it's grown. And at that point, if I have any growth in this, they will want to definitely biopsy it and get it removed. So with all of the anxiety that I was having and just a lot of family drama and stuff that I'm dealing with, it's like, I don't know, my mama always said, don't let them go to cutting on you. It could turn into something, you know what I mean? So at this point, I'm not going to do the biopsy, and I'm not going to opt for the cyst to be removed. So she's told me to pay attention, and November will be 6 months. I'll go back and they will look at it again. They'll have a look at it. So mammograms is very important, ladies. It's very important for us, to have these, because it definitely can save lives. My auntie is a breast cancer survivor. She's 83 and she caught up breast cancer. So yeah, she caught her breast cancer and she's still surviving at 83. So I wanted to just come on here and share my story with you guys. So have you guys go through that. It's a scary experience, but just pray. And I don't know, y'all. Okay, something else I want to share. When she was doing all these images, right? And when she put my breast this way and I'm facing, and she smashed it, y'all know the mammogram. Like when they do the mammogram, they literally take your breast and smash it all the way down to a pancake. But it's launched in this plastic thing, and you be, and they have it. I swear, when she did it, that thing was going, but it don't make noise. It ain't that one, but it was going around the breast, and she was like, I tell you, stop breathing, don't breathe, don't breathe, don't breathe, don't breathe, don't breathe. And as she was doing it, I felt that radiation going through. I'm like, it felt like, I said, I felt that. And she said, you didn't feel that. It's radiation. I said, ma'am, it felt like a little electro. And I said, I didn't feel it the other time. But when you went across this way, I felt that, it going in there. And she's looking at me like I'm crazy. And she's like, nobody's ever said. I said, well, I felt that. I felt something. She said, what did it felt like? I say, like electric. It's like, y'all ever I felt it. It was some type of electricity going through my body. I felt it. I promise you I did. So I guess she thought I was probably hallucinating, but I felt that. I really, and when it stopped, I felt it. So she said nobody ain't never said they felt it. So when I went in the ultrasound room, and God must have been working this out, and I just got to the point I was like, whatever they say, I'm ready. And as I was laying down, guys, and my eyes closed, and they kind of had the lights dim, And I'm talking about, I seen bright lights like angels in my eyelids, just going around, going around, going around. And it was, and I'm experiencing this. And then she started talking to me, so she made me open my eyes, because you know, it's trying to talk to somebody with your eyes closed. It's kind of weird. So I opened my eyes when she was talking, but I was seeing these specks of white lights that's coming through. And guys, all this is universal. When I was leaving this morning to go to my appointment, a ladybug was on my doorstep. A ladybug. The locker they gave me, the locker that I wind up getting, everything was just like kind of odd or unique. I wind up getting locker number 7. So it's like everything was like lining up for me. I'm like, okay. Like everything was lining up. So, oh God, thank you. I was very nervous, but that is the outcome. So they're not thinking that it's cancer. So a 0 to 2% chance. So one of my friends said, well, I'll go ahead and get a biopsy. I said, no, right now I'm not. So what would y'all do? Is 0 to 2%. That's very slim. But like the doctor said, hey, 0 to 2. I got to be honest. 0 to 2% chance of this being cancerous. So she said, but it's your decision, not mine. And I just told her, right now, I just want to leave everything and just kind of get some normalcy. I'm dealing with a lot of stress. And I know I don't say that right, guys, but I'm dealing with a lot of family stuff. I said, I just need time to get all that in perspective, get my thoughts together, get you know, I can't right now. So I said, I really don't want to have to deal with this. Like, just to know 0 to 2%, I felt like that's a low percentage, but it's that 2% chance. And I'm believing that it's not. I think that God was giving me all the signs, the white lights I was seeing, the ladybug on the porch, the locker number 7. I think that all that was like confirmation, because when I got in that one room, I got nervous, because in the room is almost like you're waiting to talk to the funeral director. My sister said, you normally tell people something when they ask a suggestion. I'm gonna tell them that I know the hospitals and they different, and everybody don't believe in manifestation, and they can't be putting stuff up with God, because everybody got different religions and stuff like that. When it comes to God, you don't want to put like that up there. So it's like maybe just motivational stuff. Believe you can get through anything, you know, stuff like that. Just a bunch of motivational stuff where it's not spiritual, because everybody religion is different, but motivation. And that room is dark. Make the room loving. You know what I mean? Just like McDonald's, they did their stuff red and yellow, and got the clown Ronald McDonald, because they wanted to be happy, and them colors attract the kids. Oh, McDonald's! You know, kids see the McDonald's. So I watched the advertising behind McDonald's. That's why they picked those colors. So with all that that's going on, guys, I want you guys to tell me what y'all think. I think it need to be, you know, motivational stuff in there that's not spiritual, that can give these women hope. It was another black lady in there. Me and her was talking, and they wound up calling me back, and my outcome came up good. I pray that hers did too. Every lady in that clinic, I pray that they outcome came out good. Thanks for listening, guys. Bye.